Okay, pretty reasonable. But you don't really see Lillicole on not hard Trick Room teams. There's no sleep powder, so I'm fine with that. So that actually means my Heatran is very good here. I'll lead with Heatran for sure. Then do I go Hydrapple too? It's just specs on the Fluttermane as you'd expect with a Torkoal. Do have Taunt on the Tornadus. It is a cool team. Thank you very much. So I don't think I like Urshifu here. Porygon 2 is decent. Landorus is good. Iron Hands is okay. The Covert Cloak it is. And Hydrapple is... it's kind of meh. So I'm going to go with these. Okay, they did just go with Fluttermane straight away. That's fine. They can't touch my Heatran at all with the Torkoal, which is very nice. So I will just attempt to Magma Storm here. And I will attempt to Ice Beam just to KO the Fluttermane and free up my Iron Hands. If they Helping Hand Shadow Ball, that shouldn't KO. It'd be close, but it shouldn't. And if they Shadow Ball, then they're locked into Shadow Ball against my Porygon 2. So then they're forced to switch out. Or just stay in and Shadow Ball the other thing, but you know. Come on, what we got? Oh, it is Terra Fairy. Okay, so they're trying to KO the Porygon. And the crits, I think, matters, but we will see, I guess, if it does. However, now I can go for Iron Hand. They're trapped in with the Magma Storm because they Terra'd, which is good, because now I can just go for Earth Power and Fake Out here. And the Fluttermane has been dealt with. And now my Heatran is looking amazing. That's fine, because that's a KO. They bring in Lilligant. I absolutely Terra Fairy here. For sure. Yeah, but they don't have anything for Heatran anymore, do they? So, yep. I will just go for that. I will just attack, I guess. Don't need to do anything else. Ooh, that's a solid play. Not enough, though. That was decent. Lilligant's KO'd, though. That was a very solid play. What's the last one? If it's Raging Bolt, I win. It's just Incineroar. I still win. Yeah, just protect him. Close combat, doesn't really matter. But that was a solid protect. That's what they had to do to get back in the game. That's still a KO, which is good. And then I do have to reveal my last Pokemon. Oh well. That's good. So, what do they have in response to that? I think I'll still do the same thing. Yeah, the same thing is fine. And I will simply repeat. Like, if you go for the Moonblast KO into the Porygon 2 once again, then I will just fake you out otherwise. Otherwise, yeah, I said it would be close. But that was not a KO. And that is. Crit didn't matter if they would have survived, the Magma Storm gets them. So now... they haven't used their Terra, which is good for them. I think now my Terror is used on the Porygon 2. Because then I survive a close combat if they go for that. That was odd. Because you can't KO Heatran if you do that. And now I KO the Lilligant. That's annoying that I went for that because I got the button. But yeah, that was not the play. So I'm not sure why they did that. Because they immediately lose. So, cool. At least the bulk of my Heatran is still decent. If I can survive a helping on Specs Shadow Ball. So, yeah, nice. I'm close to the 1500 now, aren't I? Yeah. I could do it this episode, which would be nice. It's just against the Spanish team. That's what I'm calling it, at least. And I feel like I have a decent matchup against this. So... Heatran's definitely the lead. I think it's Iron Hands Heatran here. And then I want Porygon. And I want Landorus, I think. And if that doesn't work, I'll switch up to Urshifu next game. Like, you can't bring Volcarona against me, right? Volcarona's not very good, especially because Heatran. So then, they're going to bring both Fake Outers. You got to bring Chien-Pao because you see Landorus and Hydrapple, right? So then, it's just between Raging Bolt and Urshifu. Like, Urshifu seems like it would be reasonable against me. They lead with Urshifu, that'd be nice. I can just KO them immediately. There's Incineroar and Raging Bolt. Okay, that's fine. I think I'll try and start getting my Magma Storms off. And I will attempt to just KO the Incineroar. Which one are they going to fake out? Do they stop the Incineroar KO or do they stop the Magma Storm? They stop the Incineroar KO, so I'm content getting a Magma Storm here. And now I will Magma Storm the Incineroar that is assumedly switching out into something. So I will Heavy Slam it as well. It did not switch out. Didn't matter, but now it's stuck in. So this is decent because I can go into Landorus here. Would they Terra their Raging Bolt just to survive and get off another Dragon Pulse? It's definitely Landorus. It's the way to do it. Because I can't Terra my Landorus and Terra Blast. I would like to do that, but I can't. I guess I'll just cover the Rillaboom switch in. No, I can't. No, switch in? No, they're Magma Storm. What am I doing? But that's a KO into that at least, so I can just go for this then, right? Yeah, this is decent. Need to remember about my Magma Storm. That's good damage. Is this going to be Chien-Pao? It is Chien-Pao. So I will Magma Storm here. And, no, I will Protect and I'll switch to Porygon 2. I think that is better. But if I don't get a Magma Storm into the Chien-Pao, I think I lose. Thunderclap and then... Yeah, well, that's Cool Crash. That's annoying, because that would have been a KO if I'd have just gone for Magma Storm that turn, but alas. So I think I switch into Landorus here and Trick Room and sacrifice the Magma Storm. Because then I can go for Terra Fairy Blast into the Raging Bolt for a KO. And then that's pretty decent. And this way they cannot stop Trick Room outside of Icicle Crash Flinch. That's fine. Because now I can... Do I risk the Magma Storm? Because I definitely go for that, because that's a KO. Because it's a physical Terra Blast. Actually, though, they could Sucker Punch and Thunderclap my Heatran. So this is better, isn't it? If they go for that. Which they should, to be honest. If they don't, that's annoying. And, yep, okay, so I can still play Pokemon, that's good. And it's Rillaboom as the last, okay. And it's high horsepowerless. So... what's stronger? Terra Blast with Sword of Ruin helping or super effective Ice Beam? I am not sure. But I still Heat Wave here. I think it's Terra Blast. It's not Terra Blast. It's definitely not Terra Blast. But Eevee's a clutch. Now they predict the Protect on the Heatran, right? Right? Please. Bit annoying that I didn't go for the Chien-Pao that turn. I could have outstalled. Do they Sucker Punch this turn? Like, you attack the Porygon, right? Because I'm definitely protecting. Because I need that leftover Grassy Terrain recovery, right? Right? Ooh. Okay, I'll take it, because that's not a KO. And now I might be out of Sucker Punch range. It's going to be close, but I was not, so I was pinned there. By me not attacking the Chien-Pao on the turn I attacked the Rillaboom, I lost the chance to win. Because if I'd have done that, I should have realised I 1v1 the Rillaboom, because I can recover until the terrain runs out, and then it shouldn't be able to beat me. So that was a misstep on my part. But Heatran is still really good here. I'm going to lead with Landorus this time. With Porygon Iron Hands waiting in the back. I need to remember that Porygon 2 can just 1v1 certain Pokemon. And I should go after the Pokemon that would not be able to do that. Because double target the Chien-Pao with 2 Terra Blasts into 1v1 against Rillaboom should be a win. Okay, they just leave with the same thing. Interesting. So I will once again attempt to Magma Storm. Do I U-turn? Or do I Stomping Tantrum for big damage? I'm going to Stomping Tantrum for big damage. And one of these things should happen. If they don't fake out, that would be a little bit odd. Like, if it's Protect and Parting Shot, that's perfectly fine. This is perfectly fine. I'll take massive damage on Incineroar. I'm not sure why that was the play from them. Because you're just going to let me have the Chien-Pao? That's very kind of you. Thank you for completely freeing up my Landorus. Thunderclap and Sacred Sword shouldn't KO me. And if the Heatran KOs the Chien-Pao, it's done its job. Anything extra would be a bonus. Yeah, just protect. If this is just protect and Carmine, don't particularly care. Now, do I switch to Landorus and Magma Storm just to make sure that it would be a KO? Because Sacred Sword and Thunderclap might get me. Is it worth terroring just so I definitely live? Would I need the Terror for anything else? Maybe the Terror Blast on the Porygon too? But probably not. I'm going to switch to Landorus. I think this is the better way around of doing it. I can always save Trick Room for the at the end game. They switch to Incineroar and sack it, then they get rid of the Intimidate on my Iron Hands for a potential Iron Hand sweep. It wasn't the Thunderclap though. Another Calm Mind, interesting. And do connect, so biggest threat to Landorus is gone. That's decent. Just Incineroar again. What's the correct way of doing this? It's just KO here, isn't it? That's decent. That's good that that's a KO, because now what do I want to take the Dragon Pulse? It's got to be Porygon 2, right? That's still a 2-shot though. But here I can protect and attempt to Trick Room. I can Terra Fairy the Porygon 2 if I wanted. And what's stopping that? That's guaranteed Trick Room unless they fake out, in which case I would Magma Storm that, right? That works. As far as I can see, that works. So I didn't really need my Terror for anything else, so... That's fine. Yep, Dragon Pulse. I'm a fairy now. That's good. Then... I've surely got a 100% win. Where is it? Heatwave and Recover. That's a KO. But they can't KO the Porygon. And they chip themselves. I mean, Porygon technically 1v1s the Raging Bolt, but not the way that I want it to. Hard switch to Iron Hands was obviously better on that previous turn. But if I close combat, then the Dragon Pulse will get me. Heavy Slam isn't strong against Raging Bolt, is it? Yeah, so it'd have to be Wild Charge. Combat and Terror Blast. Okay, game's over. Because then I get a wild charge here, and that's going to be good enough. So they needed to attack that turn with the Raging Bolt, but they didn't, so I do win. So Stomping Tantrum should be strong enough. Dragon Pulse wasn't a KO. Good to know. That's decent. Okay. Did I upload the first one? Yeah, I did. Right. Tempted to switch it up to Hydrapple and just yawn the Raging Bolt turn 1. But I'm not sure how effective that would be. I think that this is still correct. As far as I can see, these 4 are probably the best. Ah, good switch up. It's Terra Steel on the Urshifu as well. Interesting. That was a good mix-up from them. Hydrapple would have been lovely, wouldn't it? Going this way around, I have to get which one they're going to fake out. But I got it wrong, so... Well, that's okay. That's okay. Right. So they Terra Steel on the Urshifu. They should just double the Porygon 2 and then that would be a KO, right? So I'm going to call the Terra Steel and lose the game. Because they didn't Terra Steel. This is actually a really bad position. That was a very good switch up from them. Didn't consider them bringing the Urshifu Incineroar at all. But Hydrapple would have been lovely. Yeah, Terra Steel, nice, nice. So I don't immediately lose. If the Porygon can live, it won't. But if it can... It did, because they went for knockoff instead of Flare Blitz like a fool. Because they don't... No, they do have Flare Blitz. Like, yeah, why wouldn't you Flare Blitz there? That's now a great position for me. What were you thinking? I will take that for sure. This is actually now a very reasonable position. Because they've used their Terror as well. And the biggest threat to Heatran is also gone. So that's decent. Okay, it's just Rillaboom. That's fine. So I definitely switch to Heatran here and just lose the Porygon. Is it worse hard switching to Iron Hands just to preserve? Probably is, right? Because it's only going to be a Fake Out or a Grassy Glide. It was a Grassy Glide, so that was reasonable damage, but I like the position I'm in right now. Because I just close combat the Incineroar. Am I brave enough to Magma Storm in case they just U-turn into the Chien-Pao? No, I've got enough turns of Trick Room, I don't need to. That's just a KO there. If they would hammer, they might KO themselves. Well, Okay, that missed as well, but fine. Then it is... It's either Genpower or that, so which way round? I mean, it's just this and Heatwave and Rock Slide, right? No, it's not. It's Heatwave and Terra Blast the Rillaboom because that's a guarantee KO. Why would I not just take the guarantee KO? It's better to Earth Power here as well. Because Earth Power into Terra Blast would KO. Like, I'm trying to think of the 100% win. Ah, I also missed the double power Stomping Tantrum. Of course I factored that into me being able to KO. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, so I think it's Earth Power hit. Nah, I've missed at one already. I won't miss again. Like so. Game is over. Nice. Yeah, the double power Stomping Tantrum. I need to keep that in mind. Because I missed that as well. But that is pretty sweet. One more game, and hopefully 1500's got. Okay, pretty standard team. I mean, there's literally just Raging Bolt over Farigiraf, which is quite funny. That means I can lead with Fake Out, which is nice. Urshifu is not great here, which is annoying, because I keep wanting to bring Urshifu and I haven't brought it yet. Heatran is decent. This is... Oh, it's not the Assault Vest one. Okay, it's just the Will-O-Wisp one. Landorus is good here. It's a Choice Scarf. Yeah, I think I'm bringing Heatran here. Like, Urshifu is not the worst. It's good against some things, but really bad against the other things. So... Although if I get a sub up, then it's not too bad. Are they Terra Ghost on the Genpower? They are, yeah. So I can't safely fake it out. But if they lead with Genpower Dragonite, I'll probably Terra Fairy the Porygon, and then they can't KO me. They did. So, you know, I guess I'll do the thing I said I'll do. Was it ice? It's got to be Icicle Rash, right? Yeah, it is. So just don't flinch me, please. And if they don't Terra Ghost, then that's annoying. I could have just gone for Fake Out. But, alas, this is the correct play in my opinion, and just don't flinch. Don't know why you'd have Dragon Claw and Outrage. That seems like a bit overkill. Like, Outrage is better than Dragon Claw. Yeah, there's the Terra Ghost, so that's good. Yeah, and then they cannot KO me. Don't get the dirty roll. Oh, they just... yeah, they doubled. Terra Fairy for the win. So now I can just go for Wild Charge as a KO here. I can go for Ice Beam as a KO here. Could I go for Terra Blast to cover? No, there's no point. Wild Charge and yeah, just Ice Beam. Oh, I should have gone for the Terra Blast. Fine, I should have gone for the Terra Blast, but they are Choice Scarf here, so that's still pretty decent. And they Assault Vest here as well. So I am inclined to just double into the Raging Bolts because I believe that that is the... It's not the bigger threat. I shall just Terra Blast and Terra Blast into this because there's no Fairy switch in now. So this is still fine. I still have plenty of turns to Trick Room. So defensive Terra. No, that shouldn't allow the Urshifu to survive, right? If they Terra Water. Yeah, just Aqua Jet. That's fine. That's massive damage. Booster energy for the win. And that's very good damage, but not going to be Thunderclap range. It would be Sucker Punch and Electro Clap. Thunderclap, but it's also Extreme Speed too. So I would assume that they are going to go for Terra Normal Extreme, but it doesn't matter. I would assume they were going to go for Terra Normal Extreme Speed there. So I was going to switch into the Heatran and Ice Beam the Terra Blast the Dragonite. So what do they even have for Enhanced Paragon 2? I don't see what they have if I just Terra Fairy. Yeah, I'll just do the same thing. Should be zoom lens on the Will-O-Wisp Heatran. Like, lefties is good, and lefties paired with Rillaboom is, like, good recovery. But Magma Storm is definitely correct on Heatran if you have zoom lens. Come on, just accept your fate. What do you have for Iron Hands Paragon 2? Maybe lead with Heatran and Will-O-Wisp the Iron Hands turn 1, but even then I can just fake you out. If you lead with the Rillaboom to get fake outs over my Iron Hands, doesn't really matter, you're not threatening too much afterwards. Like, yeah, that's fair enough. Don't really care. So I can just close combat, assumedly, I think, KO the Rillaboom. Or is it better to just get the guaranteed damage into the Raging Bolt? Because then Heatran beats this. Nah, I'll just KO. Made the right call. That I don't care about that. Iron Hands is still just... Oh, not quite KOing. That's fair enough. But now I still get Trick Room. And I think I switched to Heatran to preserve the Iron Hands, because Wood Hammer should now KO the Iron Hands. I could Terra Grass. I don't think that's worth it. But that was very good damage on Rillaboom. Yep, that's no damage. Here's another Snarl, but that's not too much of a concern. Because I can go for Magma Storm here, and Ice Beam should still KO the Rillaboom. I mean, it is a 75% accurate Magma Storm, so I would like to connect Heatran. Thank you kindly. Nice. Yeah, like the Snarls don't particularly matter. I will Heat Wave and Terra Blast here. That should be a KO into whatever switches in. No, it won't be a KO into whatever switches in, but you know what I mean. A little bit. I was going to say a little bit of chip. That was a lot of chip. What? Yeah, that was very good chip. But I don't particularly care about Snarl spam. The point of it is Magma Storm does the damage. I don't care that you're snarling me. And I can easily just switch into Iron Hands with the Heatran and recover this turn. Would that be worth it? I think so. That works out pretty well. Because yeah, another Snarl. Do not care. This is now close combat and also Ice Beam to cover for a Dragonite. Yeah. Yeah, I still do that. There's the Dragonite. So Ice Beam will still do good damage. It should still KO, right? It'll be close. Not quite. Okay, cool. Oh, but I got the freeze. I'll take it. So then I will simply switch into Heatran and Trick Room again. I will Terra Fairy in Trick Room to guarantee that nothing untoward happens. Like so. Because if that would have been an outrage into Paragon 2, they could have definitely had a way back in, but now I do not believe they do. So I will once again attempt to Magma Storm here, and I will Ice Beam the Dragonite. And if the Chien-Pao switches in, the Focus Sash is broken. Okay, fair enough. Doesn't really matter. Because, yeah, I have enough turns of Trick Room, and that is 1500s. Very nice. How many... What was my record to get there? 25 to 3. Not too bad at all.